This suit is light, no thermal. So I'd guess tropics or desert.
60 seconds to launch.
That dress was beautiful. I think it was the best one you've ever made.
I thought you'd like it.
I just wanted to tell you because I don't know.
Stop. Remember, I'm still betting on you, Girl on Fire.
Ten seconds to launch.
All right, well, there's free Wi-Fi in the building, so I guess it's having problems. So my name is Nathan Ellis, founder of Viaggi, and I'm sure that's happened to a lot of us, right? Where we get into these presentations or trying to make a video call, and then that happens. So we'll try to get through it. So we're a next generation internet service provider, and we're making it easier to stay connected as you move around. And what we're doing is essentially replacing traditional internet and cable services at home and making it easier for things like that to not happen. So how do we do that? So I'm sure a lot of us kind of toggle between, some of the local providers either trying to find better service or the best price, right? Sure, show of hands, yes? I know we all do it, I know. And so the reason why this is so complicated is because there's only two providers that are in this area, right? So we are always trying to sort of figure out, where's the best deal, and we're trying to sort of manage that on our own. Well, Viaggi has identified several pain points, which is sort of the reason why that's necessary. So up two speeds is one, which kind of sets the false expectation of what we're supposed to get versus what we're paying for, right? The next thing is promotional pricing, which is sort of like the bait and switch, where you see $40 a month, all of a sudden your bill says $82.97, and then in 12 months, $172, and you're like, what the hell just happened, right? Long-term service contracts, a lot of us see that too, which is another thing for if you call me and you say, hey, my service sucks, it doesn't work, it's like, okay, well, sorry about that, right? We show that it works, sucks for you, there's really nothing you can really do about that. The next thing is the bandwidth tiers. So again, you call customer service and you say, hey, we're having service problems. And then, it's like, all right, well, great. For extra $50 a month, we'll make it work better. It just doesn't make any sense. So we're actually improving that. So our internet service has no bandwidth tiers, flat rate pricing. So what you see is essentially what you pay for. We're also deploying our own public Wi-Fi access. So as you move around outside of your house, all of your devices are seamlessly connected. And we also make it easier to stay connected to your favorite digital media, which you can also package into your home internet service, which has never been done before. So it's really, really more of a delightful experience. So imagine that world and what that looks like. So you leave your house. Obviously, we all have Wi-Fi at home. But today, it only serves you while you're at home. While you're out here, you're kind of left to sort of figure it out, fend for yourself, right? Obviously, public Wi-Fi doesn't really work all that well. And LTE service, maybe you have it, maybe you don't. It's very unreliable. So this world that we're talking about, this everywhere connectivity world, will keep you connected as you move from your house. You roam to your car, to your favorite public space, from city to city, and at scale, country to country. Now, one thing that we get all the time in terms of a question is, how is this whole thing secure, right? We all realize that, public Wi-Fi is unsecure, there's no passwords, and so how do you really know to trust it? Well, we actually manage the device-to-network interaction by the MAC address of the device, which is sort of the social security number for hardware. And there's also a couple of other protocols in the background that I won't bore you with today in terms of authentication. But that's essentially how we do it. So we bypass the need for mobile apps, we bypass the need for software, and make it really possible for seamless connectivity no matter where you are in the world. So what does this actually look like from the process? We come to your house, we replace all of your hardware. We don't just give you one router, we give you several. So we ensure that you have end-to-end coverage at every point in your house. And I'm sure whether you live in a small apartment downtown or a huge house in Indian Hill, we all kind of know where the connectivity works the best and where it drops, right? Almost like you're driving around. So we ensure that that doesn't happen. Now, when it comes to the digital media that you know and trust and that you love, we also make it possible to also package that into your home internet service, which is not possible today. And so, again, that adds to the seamless experience. So how do we connect you outside of the house? For most of us who drive around and for those of us who rely on Uber-like transportation options, we're making it really easy. So we provide you with the hardware, you plug it into your cigarette lighter, and it gives you that Wi-Fi access in the car. We tested this with Uber, so we understand that it works. So not only do you have a reliable, secure, access point inside of your vehicle, but you also now have access to GPS, your favorite digital music, and for a lot of vehicles, your infotainment. So not only Ford vehicles, but others also rely on an outside Wi-Fi source to power those connected car features that a lot of us are finding valuable nowadays, right? So this is making it a lot easier. So getting on board is easier than ever. Once you subscribe, it's really easy. You tell us who you are, choose your city. Once we have an idea for that, you guys are connected. Once you're on board, all of your devices are managed in our back end, and then all of your devices will seamlessly stay connected as you move around. So imagine, you go from here to New York City, you stay in a hotel, what happens? You have to go and type in your room number, find the public Wi-Fi, you pay $20 a night. Well, with this, as soon as you walk in, all of your devices are seamlessly connected as if you've just come home. It doesn't get any easier than that, right? So, what do we know in terms of our market? 1 in 3 Americans by 2020 are going to be millennials. 40% of renters rent because it's too expensive to actually purchase a home. As a result of that, 60% of millennials are actually choosing to rent just because they're not locked in and it's flexible. They can move around as they choose to, right? So therein lies the opportunity for Viaggi. 70% of millennials are actually renting. We're seeing more and more of those folks dropping off of their subscription or plans through traditional cable and internet options, and they're moving and relying on those non-traditional options. But again, it's segmented. You're trying to figure it out. You've got a plan for this, a plan for that. Everything seems to cost $10 a month. I don't know why that seems to be like the magic number. But most folks are paying, still $150 to $500 a month just to stay connected, but then it still isn't in the end, it's still fragmented. So we're actually targeting landlords, developers, property management companies to start to achieve scale quickly. The reason why a lot of these folks cannot provide this on their own is because a lot of these apartment places and buildings and complexes are still relying on cable coax. It's a little thing you twist, right? We all see that. And so to upgrade those properties to support high-speed broadband internet, existing providers are charging these folks more than $20,000, so they just don't do it. So what you'll see is an access point in the hallway. You'll see, Wi-Fi in the common areas. You'll often see that if you move into a new place. So we're making that interaction a lot easier. So how do we do that? So Viaggi actually manages the relationship with all the local fiber providers in the area for every city that we go into, bypassing the need for the landlord to pay to upgrade those properties. We essentially absorb that cost, and then we make it easy to upgrade all of those properties all at one time so that you as the tenant now have access to more reliable, more secure internet, not only at home, but also as you move around. So where are we at today since we've started this program in Hillman? We're on track right now to bring online more than 20 plus properties by the end of the year. That will connect more than 1,500 new Viaggi Network subscribers. That'll represent more than 10,000 new connected devices. It's pretty impressive, right? At scale, this will translate into more than $40,000 a month in recurring revenue, putting us on track for more than $2.5 million in revenue for 2019. And that's just here in Cincinnati. So what you'll see as we continue to grow is we'll pop up in more and more cities. And so all of our Viaggi Network subscribers will have a larger footprint to roam within. But not only that, but we also are able to do what Google Fiber couldn't do, which is go into virtually any territory here in the US and in abroad as well. And the reason we're able to do that is because we piggyback on the fiber that's owned by the local provider. So we don't have the regulatory struggle or barriers that Google Fiber experienced, which is why we don't have Google Fiber here today, right? So again, it becomes possible to stay connected.
Play action. And Manning's going to heave one. There's a flag. Beckham, a one-handed catch. How in the world?
Oh, my goodness.
And Brandon Carr was back there. I mean, he is insane. How do you make that catch?
Oh, my goodness. This is sick. Put this to music. I don't think he stepped out either. That may be the greatest catch I've ever seen.
We're Viaggi.
Penalties decline.